Hey everyone, welcome back. Yes, I went shorter with my hair. It's true, once you go short, you're just gonna want to keep going shorter and shorter. And honestly, I just prefer short hair on myself. It's just easier. And I still have my extensions, so if I ever want longer hair, I'll just clip them in and I'm ready to go. But yeah, this is so much healthier. My ends were really bad and I originally just went in there for a trim, and then I was like, you know what, just chop it off. But yeah, I guess change is good, and like I said, I still have my extensions, so anytime I want longer hair, I'll just clip them in. Alright, so for today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys my powder foundation routine, I guess you can say that. So whenever I want a full coverage look but with just powder and not liquid, this is what I do. Whenever I wear this powder, no joke, I always get asked what foundation I'm wearing, and whenever I tell them it's just powder, they don't believe me. That's how good this powder is. I've been using it forever. This was, I think, my first high-end purchase, and that was a really long time ago, and I'm still using it to this day. But a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with this brand when it comes to their foundations, and some of you probably already guessed what brand I'm talking about, and it is MAC. This is the Studio Fix powder. Whenever people ask me what powder I have on and I tell them that it's MAC, some of them are like, well, MAC breaks me out. But then I ask them, have you tried the powder, or are you just talking about the liquid? Because there is a major difference. If the liquid one breaks you out, then you might want to try the powder and see how that works on your skin. And MAC is really good with returns, so if this doesn't work out for you, you can just return it. It's not gonna hurt to try. You might end up loving it. And this is a full coverage foundation. It's all I have on right now. And my shade is NC 30, but that's probably gonna change in the summertime. I might get NC 35 or NC 40. Alright, so if you guys wanna see how I apply my powder foundation, then keep on watching. Alright, so first things first, you wanna make sure your skin is really clean. You can use a scrub to get rid of all the dead skin, oils, dirt, and all that. I use my daily cleansing brush, the same brush that I use in my morning routine. I'll show you guys a little clip right here, and if you haven't watched that video, I'll leave the link in the description box. I feel like every time I say I'm gonna leave a link to a video in my description box, I always forget to put it in there. So if I forgot, just leave me a comment saying, hey, you forgot to put the link, and I'll put it in there, and let's get started. Alright, now that my skin is nice and clean, I'm gonna move on to my moisturizer. Whenever I use a powder foundation, I always make sure that my moisturizer is a little bit thicker, that way it holds on to the powder. And the primer that I'm going to be using today is from MAC. This is the Prep and Prime Natural Radiance in Radiant Yellow. This is not too heavy, it's not too light, it's just perfect. So whenever you want to use a powder as your foundation, you want to stay away from primers that are really velvety and light, because that won't hold on to the powder, or at least it just doesn't work for me. You know how lately I've been using my Professional from Benefit a lot? Well, in this case, I will not use it because it just won't do anything. I'll only use it if I'm using a liquid foundation. So yeah, for today, I'm only gonna use this, and I'm just gonna be applying this all over my skin with my fingers. And you really wanna take your time applying this because you want to get everything. Alright, now that I have my primer on, I'm going to move on to the concealer. I just picked up a new concealer from Ulta. I got the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. This is in the shade Light. I don't even know if I got the right shade. I just grabbed whatever lighter color they had because I like my under eyes to look really bright. So this is what it looks like, and I just noticed my screensaver in the back. I hope that's not too distracting. And I always apply my concealer after I apply my foundation, but since we are using a powder today, I'm gonna apply the liquids first. And if you're using a liquid foundation, it really wouldn't matter. You can use your concealer before or after, since they're both liquid, but you can't really apply your powder and then use a liquid concealer. So we're gonna apply all of our liquids, and then we're gonna use our powder products. Alright, and now to blend this, I'm just gonna use my sponge from Real Techniques. And I really thought this was going to be lighter, but it just looks like my normal foundation color. I'm going to apply some around the mouth area because I have a lot of discoloration. Alright, now we're finally going to move on to the powder. I'm using my MAC Studio Fix powder, and this one is in the shade NC30, and this is what it looks like. This powder comes with a little sponge that looks like this, but I never use that. I'm going to be using a brush, and the brush I'm using is from Sigma. This is the F30 powder brush. This is my favorite brush to apply powder. I just love how big it is. I love how stiff the bristles are. I never use a soft brush to apply powder because it just won't hold on to the product. It's just gonna fall right off. So now I'm just gonna grab my powder and start applying. So first I just start by pressing the powder on my skin. And then I'll go in circular motion. I'm just gonna do one side of my face first so you can see the difference. And if I want to get into small places, I just squeeze my brush. Alright, so this is the side that has powder, and this is no powder. Powder, no powder. So I know right now it looks a little cakey, but it makes sense because we just used powder. But we're gonna fix that by spraying some Fix Plus at the end. But I'm gonna finish applying all the powder products and then we'll spray the Fix Plus. So I'm gonna move on to my contour, and today I'm gonna be using my Laura Geller Balance and Brighten foundation, and this is in the shade Deep. And to apply this, I'm using my F40 brush from Sigma. Now for the blush, I'm going to use this one from Japonesque, and this is in the number 1. And I'm just applying it with that same angled brush. And for my highlighter, I'm using this one from Becca, and this is in the shade Opal. And to apply this, I'm using a fan brush from Motives Cosmetics. Alright, now I'm going to spray my Fix Plus from MAC, and then I'm all done.